Hey there, growers. I'm Dylan, and welcome back to another episode of the Grow Closet. So today we're going to be talking about grassroots fabric pots, and they were nice enough to provide us with a couple of these pots. This is their 30-gallon living soil pot, and then over here we have their transplanter pot. And this one is, I find, really interesting because most transplanter pots usually have one side for Velcro. This actually has two different sides, so may not seem like much, but I've utilized transplanter pots before, and if they have one Velcro on there, usually the root ball gets messed up, you lose a good amount of soil, nothing really stays intact. So from here, you just take the Velcro off that side, Velcro off that side, transplant into your next one. But the really cool thing about this, as I mentioned, is the living soil aspect of it. So they have two different styles for their pots and their raised beds. The classic, which is going to be very similar to, a geopot or any other, fabric pots that have been on the market for a long time and work amazingly. And their second style, which is their living soil. So on the inside, you have this poly liner that goes almost all the way to the bottom. You have a couple inches right here down at the very bottom that the poly is not covering, and then at the very bottom of it is still just the canvas as well. And there's many reasons why they want to do this. First and foremost, sustainability. And when I say sustainability, I mean that utilizing this poly liner that's on the inside, they're able to decrease the amount of air pockets in your soil. Are able to decrease the amount of water loss that you have, because I don't know about you, but I've had numerous times where I'm using a fabric pot and I'll start watering and it won't, go over the edge, but it'll start saturating right here and then just start falling off to the side. So you're not getting full saturation in the middle of your root ball. You're not getting full saturation of the entirety of your media, and you're pretty much just seeing money go down the drain if you're using, any type of nutrients in your water. And so that's the really nice thing, or a really nice thing about this, is because this liner ensures that you're going to get full saturation all the way till the bottom of the pot, except for these last couple inches. Another thing is that you're not going to have air pruning through the entirety of the pot. It's only air pruning certain sections of the pot. Now, when fabric pots first came on the market, I was very interested by the idea of air pruning. I thought it was interesting because I started growing in plastic containers. And, if you've ever grown in plastic containers, after a while, or after a full harvest, or a full run rather, you'll take the root ball out and you'll start noticing that the roots are just spinning. And that's because it hits the hard side of the plastic and then starts growing starts growing around the pot as opposed to growing down. So I was always a fan of air pruning. This is basically forcing the roots to grow downward and not be air pruned from the sides, but be able to be air pruned in this last little section right here. And then especially with like a 30-gallon, if you have this on a roller or you have it raised above the actual ground or whatever you're growing on, you're going to have a lot more aeration for the bottom and for these last couple of inches. They have also mentioned that these living soil styles are really good for a dry climate. And especially this company is out of Sacramento. So they make everything in-house, they get the fabric shipped over, and then they sew everything themselves. So for a climate like Sacramento, very dry, very hot, you're able to have more water retention, so you're not wasting water, and you're able to utilize as much of the nutrition that you're feeding your plant to your plant. So if anything, you're actually helping your plant grow better and grow stronger because you're giving it all the nutrition that it needs to thrive. They are, as I mentioned, they are located in Sacramento, California. I've actually gone to their warehouse and met with one of the reps over there who's nice enough to show me around and show me kind of the ins and outs of their facility. And it was very fascinating to me, the fact that they hand stitch everything. They bring in the fabric and they make it all in-house. I mean, it just looks incredibly sturdy. He was telling me that he has clients who bought from them at the beginning of when they first started, and they're still using the same pots. And a huge thing is because of the care that they put into this. And not only that, it's for the sustainability that they put into this. They don't want you to dump out your soil every run. They want you to be able to have living soil that you build in here, that you cultivate over time, and actually is so much more sustainable that way, as opposed to just dumping out your root ball in your soil and getting new soil every single run. I've done that, but I've learned, and we've all learned as an industry, that sustainability is key. So these products are emphasizing sustainability by lowering water usage, by lowering energy costs, and by overall increased durability. So these products are available at monstergardens.com, or feel free to stop by our Sonoma County location. Thanks for coming by.
Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for us, and if you have any products that you'd like us to feature on Grow Closet, go ahead and comment down below.